We all love March Madness and it's finally almost here. But what if it started today? With where all the teams are at right now, what would happen? That's what I'm going to find out today. I'm using the ESPN bracketology to create a bracket based off the current standings in college basketball. Will this be accurate or completely off the real March Madness tournament? It's time to find out. Before we get the games going, let's take a quick look at the bracket. First, we got Purdue, then we got Oklahoma versus New Mexico, Dayton versus McNeese State, Baylor versus UC Irvine, St. Mary's versus Indiana State, Alabama versus High Point, Washington State versus Northwestern, Marquette versus Morehead State, Arizona versus San Diego State, Texas versus Boise State, Wisconsin, Richmond, Auburn, App State, BYU versus Gonzaga, Creighton versus Charleston, Florida versus Nebraska, Kansas, and Eastern Washington. Now taking a look at the other side here, Houston versus Sam Houston, Utah State versus Mississippi State, Clemson, Texas A&M, Illinois, Akron, Colorado State, USF, Duke, Vermont, Michigan State, Virginia, Tennessee, Quinnipiac, UConn, Eastern Kentucky, FAU, TCU, Texas Tech, Samford, San Diego State versus Yale, Kentucky, and this is just a filler team because Grand Canyon is not in this game. So this is just a filler team. Kentucky's getting a bye here. I mean, they probably would have beat Grand Canyon anyways, even though they're having a very good season. Personally, I think Kentucky would take it. Iowa State, Oakland, South Carolina versus Nevada, and then finally North Carolina versus Colgate. So honestly, let's just get right into this bracket. We're going to simulate through these games, starting off with Purdue versus Norfolk State, and Purdue takes that one 58-48. I'm going to simulate through the first round of this bracket, then I'll get back to you guys with the scores. Taking a look at this next game, Oklahoma took it over New Mexico by 10. Dayton got a pretty good victory over McNeese State. Baylor took this one. Indiana State beat out St. Mary's College. And Alabama took their game. Northwestern got a very close victory over Washington State by 62-61. To finish out the first round of this bracket, Marquette beat out Morehead State. A big victory for them. Biggest so far. Let's move on to this next bracket. Huge upset alert. The first big upset of this tournament. San Diego State beating out number 1 seed Arizona. Obviously, these are going to happen in this tournament, so I'm just excited to see how accurate this is going to end up being. I'm obviously going to compare this to the real bracket at the end to see how it goes once the national championship game is played. Texas beats Boise State. Wisconsin getting a win over Richmond. Another big upset here. App State beating out Auburn. BYU gets a big victory over Gonzaga. Creighton, who just beat UConn, got a nice victory. Nebraska beats Florida. And then Kansas beats Eastern Washington and a big victory. Let's move over to the next side of the bracket. Starting off with the first game, Houston gets the victory, unlike Arizona clearly. Utah State beats Mississippi State. Clemson gets the victory over Texas A&M. Akron gets the upset over Illinois. That's a terrible game from Illinois, 47-70. That's tough. USF beats Colorado State. And then Duke gets their victory over Vermont. Hopefully no players sprain their ankles from a court storm. Michigan State loses to Virginia, and honestly Michigan State very mid lately. Tennessee beats Quinnipiac. So now we're down to the final first round. Now here's where it starts to get a little inaccurate. I feel like, Connecticut, we already have 2 number 1 seeds eliminated. Connecticut just got eliminated, so that is rough for them. We saw it last year in the bracket with Purdue, so anything can happen. It's crazy that happened though. FAU beating out TCU. Samford beating Texas Tech. Yale with a 1-point victory over San Diego State, 66-65. Kentucky obviously gets that one. Iowa State beats Oakland. Nevada takes down South Carolina. And then North Carolina with a solid victory over Colgate. So we're now into the next round of this bracket. Things are looking good, looking exciting. Let's start off with this Purdue versus Oklahoma game. Oklahoma gets the victory over Purdue. Another upset. Wow, I guess Purdue really is lacking in these tournaments. Dayton beats out Baylor as well. This is looking like a crazy bracket. Alabama, finally not an upset this round. Alabama beats Indiana State. Marquette getting the victory over Northwestern. Texas beating South Dakota State. Wisconsin gets their victory over App State. Creighton beats BYU. And then Kansas gets the victory over Nebraska. On to the other side. Utah State beats Houston. Is there any number 1 seeds left? No, there's not. That is crazy. Some insane upsets happening so far. Utah State with the victory. And Akron beating out Clemson. This is a crazy bracket. Duke gets the victory over USF though. Can't be all upsets around here, but Virginia gets it over Tennessee. Eastern Kentucky beating FAU. They're making a run for it after beating number 1 seed UConn, the previous national champions. Actually, I forgot to mention, my March Madness video last year predicted UConn winning it all. So that's kind of crazy that this thing actually predicted the national championship. So who knows? This could be as accurate. This could be the next national championship winner right here. Yale gets it over Samford. Kentucky beats Iowa State. And North Carolina gets it over Nevada. We're now into the Sweet 16. Sorry, this is a very low resolution picture of the bracket so far. But we are now into the Sweet 16 already. Oklahoma versus Dayton starting it out. And Dayton is getting the victory over Oklahoma. Marquette gets the victory over Alabama. And Wisconsin's really making a deep run in this tournament. After kind of falling off, they had a great start to the season. But kind of have fallen off a little bit. But they're making a run for it. And Creighton gets the 1-point victory over Kansas. Oh, that is a close game. There's been a lot of close games. Starting off the other side of the bracket. Utah State versus Akron. Akron gets an 8-point victory. Duke gets it over Virginia. Let me just say, I did not expect Akron to be this far. They're going up against Duke in the Elite 8. Yale gets the victory over Eastern Kentucky. So Eastern Kentucky was finally stopped. They made it really far though. Did not expect them to get past the first round. This was a good one. North Carolina gets a very good victory over Kentucky. They're definitely runners for this all right now. We're now into the Elite 8. We got Dayton, Marquette, Wisconsin, Creighton, Yale, North Carolina, Akron, and Duke. You know what? Let's start off on this side this time. Duke gets the victory, and then North Carolina gets it as well. So we got Duke and North Carolina in the Final Four. That's going to be a great game. Two blue bloods going at it. But before we can get to that, we have to do this side. We got Dayton versus Marquette. And Marquette's going to take it. Wisconsin gets the victory over Creighton. So they find themselves in the Final Four against Marquette. This is a crazy matchup. I actually really like this Final Four. So we got Duke versus North Carolina. Then Marquette versus Wisconsin. We're going to hop into these games and watch them a little bit. And then we got the national championship game. Starting with the tip-off. It's an exciting moment for both teams. Wisconsin gets it. And I'll see you guys later throughout the game and give you guys updates. Are they going to get the first points though? We might as well check. It's a really bad camera angle right now too. I gotta fix this. They're going for 2. They get the first 2 points of the game. Great start for Wisconsin. Okay, we got the broadcast camera out now. This is a lot better. Can Marquette strike back with the 3? Right for 3. That is a great start for both teams. This can be a shootout. We are down to around the final minute of the first half. Marquette going for the 3. They get it. But Wisconsin's actually made a huge comeback throughout this game. They had around like 6 points. Marquette was at like 13. They've scored so many points unanswered. It's crazy. And it's looking like they're going to try and go into the second half on top. Shot clock is winding down. They're going for the 3 as well. They make it, so it's 21-16, 45 seconds left in the first half. Marquette's going to need to strike back soon. Momentum is clearly swinging in Wisconsin's way, but they get 2. Oh, Marquette gets the ball right back. Are they going to capitalize off of this? It's going to be fouled. And he is not going to make the first one. Can he make the second free throw? Make this a 2-point game? No, it's still a 3-point game. Wisconsin gets the ball back, and it's going to be going to the second half. They will be on top. This is shaping up to be a great game so far. Marquette finds himself on top towards the end of this game. They're up by 4. There's still plenty of time for Wisconsin to come back though, as they're now down by only 3. Can they make it a 2-point deficit on this free throw? Yes, they do. So this is a very close game. Still a minute and 22 seconds. This can last a while as well. Wisconsin gets the ball back. Great defense. Bad pass on Marquette's side. Oh, but that was another bad pass, and Marquette gets the turnover. So that was back to back. Canceled each other out there. That was a crazy throw. Oh, what a tip. In for the 2 points. That was an all-around crazy play right there. Less than a minute left in this game. Down by 4. Wisconsin needs something desperately. That was a great play for 2 points right there. Perfectly executed to the net. And now the fouls come in as Marquette could just run out this clock. Can't believe how close this one was though. Wisconsin almost got that there. Marquette can kind of seal their victory here. It's now 3. And now it's a 4-point deficit. And Marquette gets the ball right back. Wow, Wisconsin, what are you doing? So now they get more free throws. Wisconsin couldn't do anything else there. Going for the 3. They make it. This is now a 1-point game with 20 seconds left. Not sure how those fans can see in the background though. Got a bad seat. You can see it again in the background there. They're kind of looking at nothing right now. It's looking like it's going to be game over most likely for Wisconsin. Marquette is drilling all these free throws. 47-41. It's over for Wisconsin. They don't even make that. And it's game over. Marquette is moving to the national championship. Wisconsin is eliminated. What a game though. That was close. So now it is time for Duke versus North Carolina. Should be another very good one. This is another packed arena. North Carolina wins the tip-off. See if they can capitalize first. Nope. Duke gets the rebound. Can they get the first points on the board? Going for the 3. No. North Carolina gets the rebound. North Carolina is fouled so they could get on the board here first. And they do with about a minute left in the half. North Carolina is only up by 1. Another very close game. Both of these have been very close so far. As we saw though in the last one, Wisconsin was up before the half and they still lost. So anything could happen. It's only 1 point. Duke can come back here. Crazy pass. I thought that was going to be turned over. What is happening right here? They go for the 3 and they make it, so they're now up by 2. Not even sure what happened there, but it worked out for Duke. Oh, that was blocked by Duke. So they now have the ball once again, and they're looking like they're going to be going up into the second half. Going for another 3, and they get the rebound as well. going for the second 3 in a row, and he makes it this time. Wow, what a way to end this half. Oh no, that was 2. I thought that was 3. I was close though. But what a way for Duke to end this half. Up by 4 going into the second. Duke was really pulling away on this one in the second half, but North Carolina came back and almost retook the lead. But Duke is still up by 1. There's less than a minute left in this game. Duke going for the 3. They don't make it. North Carolina could come back here. They've had to really come back the second half. Duke was up by like 10 or something at one point. North Carolina is going to get the 2 to retake the lead, 50-49. Just 20 seconds left in this game. This is for the national championship. North Carolina could seal it here and seal their way into the national championship against Marquette. Time is running out. 5 seconds left. 3. They're going to get a buzzer beater off, and it looks like they're going to get the 2 points to get up by 1 over North Carolina. Chucks the ball up. They don't make it. Duke is heading to the national championship. What an ending for Duke. That was a crazy game. Super exciting to watch. Wow. It's going to be Duke versus Marquette. So here we have it, guys. Marquette versus Duke. This is a great national championship game. I'm excited to watch this one and see who's going to win it all. The national championship is now underway. Duke with the ball. Can they get on top first? My personal take is Duke is winning this one, but anything can happen. Marquette is a very good team as well. Going for the 3, and that is a swish. Nothing but net right there. 3 points for Duke to start off their game. Duke is on top right now by 6, 20-14, with about a minute left in the first half. Wow, what a rebound right there. Putting it in the basket for Marquette. Marquette has another chance to get some points here. Close this lead before the half ends. It's crazy that this was almost North Carolina versus Marquette, but no, Duke got that last second 2-pointer to get up by 1. If they could seal this national championship, this would be a crazy run from them. Going for one final 3. They don't make it, so it's going to be a 4-point deficit going into the next half. Marquette is up by 3 on Duke right now. As we saw, though, Duke can come back at the very end. There's less than a minute left in this game. The national championship is on the line here. Duke does not get the 2 points, but they're going to get the free throws. Doesn't make the first one, and he doesn't make the second one. Marquette gets the rebound. They're looking very solid right now. There's been so many turnovers on both sides, though. And they're going to get 2 to make this a 5-point lead over Duke. If Duke doesn't get something here, I think it's a game over. Marquette could get the national championship here, and it is now Marquette's ball too. Obviously, Duke has to foul because there is no time left, and pretty much Marquette can seal this game here. They got the free throws now. They make it, so it's 6 points. It could be 7 points here, and it's a 7-point deficit for Duke. They're going for 3. It's far too late, though. It's looking like Marquette is going to be the national champions. It is over for Duke. I'm excited to see how accurate this actually will be. Also, stay tuned for the actual March Madness simulation, as once the bracket comes out, I'm going to be simulating that as well, like I did last year. And like we saw from last year, UConn was the national champions, so it could be accurate. I mean, honestly, though, it's not accurate at all, but it's still fun to watch, especially because these are not the same rosters. I do not have the updated rosters on these games. Speaking of that, I wonder if they'll ever make a new college basketball game, though. Super excited for the new college football game. I might make a video on that soon, just pretty much like on all the information and stuff. There's so much out there. But this is game over. Marquette is the national champions. There we have it. Look at that right there in the Milwaukee Daily. They are the national champions.